Like we've got another Pythagorean trig problem, because one way you can solve this problem, the sine of 19 degrees equals k, is to draw a triangle. And you make the hypotenuse 1, you put in 19 degrees, and opposite over hypotenuse is k over 1. Well, there's your picture. And then you just use Pythagoras, the hypotenuse squared minus the other side squared, and square root it to get the other side of the right angle triangle. Now you can answer all sorts of questions. Let's try this one, the sine of 109 degrees. Well, that's really the sine of 71 degrees. Right up here, we could see that, because if that's 19, that's got to be 71. But the sine of 71 is exactly the same as the cosine of 19 degrees, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's just root 1 minus k squared. That's it. The tangent of 199 degrees. Well, first you have to reduce it. It's 19 degrees past 180, and the reference angle is 19 degrees. But in that third quadrant, where 199 degrees is, the tangent's positive. So it's the same as the tangent of 19 degrees. Well, you go to 19 degrees, just look at your triangle, opposite over adjacent, k over root 1 minus k squared. Done. All done. No problem. Now, the cosine of 379 degrees, well, if I took 379 and took away 360, it'd be the same as the cosine of 19 degrees. And the cosine of, that would be the cosine of 19 degrees. But 1 minus cos squared is equal to sine squared. That's an identity we learned. Sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. So 1 minus cos squared is sine squared. And the sine of 379 is the sine of 19 degrees. And the sine of 19 degrees is k, so the whole thing must just be k squared. Okay, here's the next part. The sine of 180 degrees minus theta. We're supposed to simplify it. Well, that's the second quadrant. Sine's positive there, so the answer is just sine theta. This is, if I take 360 away from this is 180 plus theta. The cosine of theta minus 180 is just minus cos theta. And the cosine of 90 degrees, theta, 90 degrees plus theta, is minus sine theta. Well, what do we have here? The tangent of 180 plus theta, that's tangent in the third quadrant. It's just the tan of theta. These two negatives kind of cancel, but sines and sine cancels. So you're just left with tangent theta times cos theta. But hang on a second, tangent theta is sine over cosine. And multiplying by cosine and dividing by cosine, that cancels. And you're left, the whole thing just simplifies to sine theta. All done.